Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to another episode of Soulevision, the safe channel to your soul. I hope this video finds you well. I hope that if not, eventually you will be well. I hope your day's going well. And I hope your day does go well after you watch and listen to this. Okay? We're going to just jump right in. We're going to start with affirmations. If you're new here, welcome. I say affirmations, and after each affirmation, I leave a pause so that you can say them with me. You ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm allowed to take up space. My past is not a reflection of my future. I am strong enough to make my own decisions. I'm in control of how I react to others. I choose peace. I'm courageous and stand up for myself. I will succeed today. I deserve to feel joy. I'm worthy of love. I love myself deeply. Snaps for those affirmations. While I was saying the affirmations, I realized that, just because you say affirmations doesn't mean that you have to be like that affirmation. The affirmation is you trying to convince yourself to eventually get there. It's like a goal. Like you might not choose peace right now, but you want to try to start choosing peace. That's why you say affirmations, to remind yourself, like, I'm choosing peace. I choose peace. So you can eventually have peace in your life. Today was a struggle trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about because I have so many ideas. And if you are a person that likes to write down everything and I have a whole list of things I want to talk about, it's hard to pick one once you have a big list. Okay. But I chose the topic of being consistent. Being consistent is so hard. So hard. This is also an encouragement for people that are watching and are trying to be consistent. So whenever you hear people talk about like how they made it, how they were able to gain the success that they gained, and how whether it's a quick success or it took a long time, whatever it is, they all across the board talk about how consistency is the only thing that got them there. If you ever been a YouTuber like me, technically I've been on here for 7 years. Is it 7 years? I need to go look. I'm in the wrong spot. My videos. Hold on. This shouldn't take long. I didn't post that many videos. I've been on here 8 years. That's crazy. I've been on here 8 years. Definitely not consistent throughout 8 years. So let's not go there. I probably would have way more subscribers. But I've been on here for 8 years. And if you've ever started a YouTube, all the bigger YouTubers say, honestly, the major thing is being consistent. And they make it sound like it's so simple, but consistency is the hardest thing that you can ever do. So I guess I'll probably just give some tips on how to be consistent because I have been practicing being consistent. And I think I've been pretty successful with being consistent, but I just want to let you know, you're not tripping. Being consistent is very hard. It's not an easy task. I almost said it's not the easiest task, but it's not an easy task. It's about literally being serious with yourself, having that accountability, and having the end goal in mind, as well as not allowing your everyday distractions to get in the way of the things that you need to do. But I feel like the most important part is holding yourself accountable. You have to push yourself to be able to do the things that you want to do. Okay. So there's a model that is called, I don't know what it's called, honestly, but there's 3 R's to, I guess, being consistent and going after the things that you want to do. Reminder, routine, and reward. Your reminder is the thing that's going to trigger you or remind you to do the thing that you need to do. The routine is the action that you do, which is whatever the thing is. And then the reward is how you benefit from doing that action. Does that make sense? So for instance, if I said to myself, I want to start waking up at 6 a.m., which is what I'd done for a couple months ago. I said to myself, I want to wake up at 6 a.m. My reminder is my alarm. Wake up at 6 a.m. The routine is actually getting up and not hitting snooze and doing whatever I needed to do. So my thing was waking up 6 a.m. and working out. So the routine is no matter how you feel, just like last week, how to get through depression. When you want to do something and you want to be consistent with it, you basically plan it out, map it out. What is the thing you want to do? A lot of people say that it's better or easier to start with your end goal in mind and then work backwards. So if you want to be physically fit or just feel better or be healthy, or, I feel like I work out just to look good. The health benefits, there are side effects because obviously that's what working out does. But focus on the end goal in mind. Now, when I'm talking about working out, I'm not talking about you trying to get fine for your birthday, because those things never work out. When I'm talking about consistency, I'm talking about consistency. If you want to work out 5 days a week for a whole year, that's your end goal. Make it a whole year, of working out. Then you come back. Okay, how would I be able to do that? Boom, let me look at my schedule. How can I fit working out in my already busy schedule? Okay, I got to wake up earlier. Okay, you go backwards until everything that you need to do fits into your schedule. Reminder, routine, reward. You set your alarm at 6 a.m. every day. Routine, you act on that alarm. You wake your butt up and you don't snooze it. You put on your clothes and you don't stay on your phone and get distracted. And the reward is after, a few tries, because, after a few tries, you'll eventually get a week down. And from that week, you go, okay, let me try to go to the second week of being consistent with working out every single day. Something you could be could want to be consistent with is something that might be weekly. I can only use myself as an example to help. But for me, this podcast is something that I told myself I'm going to do every single week, because when it comes down to things that are, I guess, technically extracurricular, because I ain't making no bread on here right now. When it comes to doing things that are extracurricular and you have to see like the end, when you see the end, it makes the now a little easier to manage when you are not profiting. Like when it's just something when it's something that you can say, I'm not really making money here, so I don't really need to do this. Seeing the end allows you to humble yourself and get on here every week. But for me, I wanted to be consistent because I wanted to take steps towards trusting myself and taking and having accountability for myself. So when it comes to wanting to be consistent, you have to want to be consistent. You have to want to be held accountable by yourself. That takes another level of something. Discipline. It is discipline. I guess discipline and what's the word I'm looking for? What are we talking about right now? Godly. Consistency. Okay. Discipline and consistency go hand in hand because you have to strengthen your disciplinary skills in order to be consistent in anything that you want to do. But discipline don't come easy either. That's probably why it's so hard to be consistent. It's not easy to be disciplined. It's not easy to be able to see what you could do and know that, you know what, or say to yourself, I'm not going to do that because of this, or because I need to do this, or it would inhibit this or make this go away, or however it looks in your life. But to have the discipline to be consistent is hard. And I'm also bringing this up in this way because I want you to know that you are not alone in those feelings of like, this is hard, I can't do this, this is impossible, like, why would I waste my time? Especially if you're someone that looks for instant gratification or instant validation in the things that you do. Some things don't give you that. So watch this video and listen to my words. It's okay. And also, on your journey of being disciplined and being consistent, you're gonna not be consistent. There will be times where you won't be, or maybe in the beginning stages when you're learning how to, you have to go through the trial. You have to mess up in order to get better and to master it. You're new to trying to do this, so it's obvious. So give yourself grace on those parts. But it is a tough job. Seeing the reward at the end makes the pain, the trouble, the adversity, the friction all seem worth it. For example, when I'm working out, the day I hate the most is arms. But I want more of a little hump right here. So if I have the end goal of me having this little hump right here, I'm going to be able to suffer through those workouts even though I don't enjoy them. Because I know that if I do these things every week, be consistent, then I will get the hump. There's nothing that you will be able to obtain without either A, being disciplined, or B, being consistent, or C, holding yourself accountable for your actions when you do right and when you do wrong. Why am I saying If you look at it even from a receiving end, right? Nobody wants to deal with someone that's inconsistent. If you are talking about relationships, if you're talking about businesses, if a business sometimes ship your order out and sometimes don't, they're inconsistent, and you're not going to want to do business with them. Yeah, you see where I'm going, right? You need to be consistent. Treat yourself like you're that business. Treat yourself like you're another person receiving you in order to train your brain to be like, oh, okay, we're not playing around. Don't play around with you. All right? You don't let nobody play with you, but you don't play with you either. You have to take yourself seriously. You have to treat this like this is the real deal. It is the real deal, but you got to treat it like this is a job for you. If it was a job, you wake up, you wake up and you're at the job at whatever time you need to be there. But when it comes down to doing something for you, it's easy for you to snooze the alarm. Why is that? Do you not respect yourself enough? I'd hope that's not the case, but it probably is. Do you not see yourself being the person that you actually want to be? Do you really believe that you want to be that person? Is there something that's prohibiting you? There's something that is allowing you to sabotage the things that you want to do. And that's something you have to dig within and figure out who, what, where, when, and why. Ask why. Like another video, one of the past videos, something that is consistent along the board of trying to be consistent, something that's consistent within consistency. I just try to flip it just to make it sound better. But something that is consistent with being consistent is the lack of motivation. If you think for a second that you need to be motivated in order to be consistent, that is a major error. That's probably where one of your biggest problems are. you are not going to want to wake up at 6 to put your body in pain so you can feel better, be healthier, look better. You're not going to do that. You're not going to be motivated to do that, especially if you don't do that on a regular basis. If you don't run ever, if the last time you ran was in high school, you're not going to be motivated to wake up at 6 a.m. to run. That's just not who you are. So you're actually changing from the person you used to be and technically becoming a new person. And that is a hard thing. That's where the uncomfortable piece comes. And you're not going to be motivated to be uncomfortable. It's not common sense, but it just makes sense that you're not going to be motivated to be uncomfortable. You be motivated to do the things that you're comfortable with doing. If it was sitting down and watching a show or whatever your favorite thing is, you're going to be motivated to want to do that. You're going to go get snacks. You're going to do all that stuff. When it comes to working out, you just be upset. And sometimes for a lot of people, they just never do it because the motivation's not there, and their drive and angst to just do it isn't there. So I'm gonna give another tip. Another tip is when you are in a moment, say for instance, it's your alarm went off at 6 a.m. and you are tired or you feel tired and you want to go back to sleep, and it's always easier to go back to sleep. Just get up. Just say, I'm gonna get up, 3, 2, 1, and get up. If it's a task you need to do that you've been holding off, I'm gonna go do that if you have the time. Okay, I can't tell you how to do your schedule, but the way I operate and the way I know works for me, because if I don't do it, I will find a reason to go back to sleep. Now, there are cases when you didn't get any sleep and you have a long day ahead of you. I ain't gonna say I ain't never snoozed the alarm, okay? But just don't make it a habit. But in everything I do, I just get up quickly. And sometimes it doesn't end up well because me getting up quickly while like after a stretch or like straight out of bed, sometimes I get a little lightheaded, but it gets me up. If you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. All right? Okay. Another tip that I have heard of is focusing on the first 2 minutes of whatever task it is that you need to do. So if it's working out, sorry if I'm using working out, but this can go for anything in your life. This can go towards what you want to do for your job or a side hustle or for yourself. If you want to eat clean, if you want to, whatever you need to do, apply it in relationships, apply it wherever it fits for you. I'm just talking about mainly like typical things and things I can think of off the top of my head that make sense. But if it's working out, focus on putting your clothes on, focus on putting your shoes on, focus on going to wherever you need to go. A good motivator for working out is getting workout outfits. Cute stuff to work out in. It's like, oh, I cannot wait to put on my little cute little 2Ps, the little tights, a little tummy control on them. Find things that make it a little easier. Now, I think this is the last tip because it's probably the last thing I have on my head, I think. If it's something that, say for instance, you want to start meditating and you can't find a spot in your day to meditate because it's like a spot of meditating is, you're doing something, but it's in the realm of doing things, it feels like you're doing nothing. Attach it to something else that you normally do. So if there's something that you do every single day, say for instance, you drink coffee. Right after you drink your coffee, you say, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes after I drink my coffee. You're for sure going to drink your coffee the next day and the next day and the next day. So while you are already drinking your coffee, meditate. And that is how you build and form little small habits over time to be able to become a better person and be the person that you want to be. Okay. Now, don't be trying to do too much. Pinpoint your top thing that you want to do. Or there's something called focusing on keystone habits. So a keystone habit is something that ripples on through your day, the rest of your life. So for example, exercise again. Exercise improves your health. Exercise sometimes allows you to focus throughout the day. Exercise allows you to get sleep because you're tired from exercising. Exercising makes you feel and look good. Exercising allows you to be well rested because of the sleep that you get. The ripple throughout your life. So if you want to focus on something that improves your overall life in different aspects. And that's what I will say. I actually have another thing. It's something called implementation intention. It's something that is almost like journaling, but it's a specific kind of journaling. So say, for instance, like I said, I want to do this podcast every single week. I will post a podcast video every single Thursday this year. You're implementing that you are going to do this at this time, however many times. So I guess I should say I will post a new podcast episode at 12 p.m. every single Thursday for the rest of the year. And it's like you're writing down a promise to yourself. It's a written notice to yourself. You have it in writing. Once you have it in writing, I guess it's easier to follow through, which is something that I actually did do in the beginning of the year when there were certain things that I wanted to do. So with that, I want to bring it back home and reiterate that being consistent is very hard. It is not for the weak. If you're feeling weak, it's okay. It's going to get better. Keep going. Keep holding yourself accountable. Keep focusing on being and staying disciplined, and your consistency will come. It will become a habit. But at first, the first part and the beginning part of building and forming habits is the hardest because you're doing something that your body's not used to. You're not used to being accountable. You're not used to being disciplined. You're not used to not indulging into everything that you normally allow yourself to indulge in. You're not used to any of that. You're not used to eliminating and ignoring distractions. And that's okay. You're not supposed to be perfect at this in the beginning. Okay? Be patient with yourself. Yes, it's okay to be upset that you missed the mark, but it's not okay to keep beating yourself up over it. Just keep it going, because as you keep beating yourself up, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing to yourself? Are you building yourself up or breaking yourself down? I mean, would someone that's working out want to be consistent all of a sudden? No, I don't think so. All right. You got this. Everything is gonna work as long as you stay true to your plans and you stay on your own ass. Okay? Nobody can do this but you. Nobody. You could try to have yourself a partner that is supposed to keep you consistent, but that's not fair to them to have to remind you to do something that you want to do. Do the thing you want to do. Okay? You got this. It's always in you. It's going to be hard. If you go in knowing it's hard, I feel like it might be a little easier. And I'm going to leave you with that. Okay? We are going to be consistent all 2023. When I say consistent, it don't matter what is in your way. You're going to have to do it. Okay? It's Wednesday. This podcast drops tomorrow. I could have easily said, it's too late. I'm not going to be able to edit and all that stuff. But guess what? Bet you see me tomorrow. I hope so. But bet you see me tomorrow. So I hope that this message was exactly what you needed to hear. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, evening, night. And tell a friend to tell a friend. When you listen and post this on your Instagram, let them know what you're listening to so we can get some more viewers. I really, really, really appreciate all the people that pop up and show up, even when I don't post on Instagram to promote the episode. I am very, very, very thankful for everyone. And without further ado, bye. But for real, stop playing with yourself.